Okay, let's dive in. We're looking today at something that takes, well, a pretty old idea, renting tools, and gives it a serious tech upgrade. We've been digging through quite a bit of material on smart locker tool rentals. And honestly, it shapes up to be a fascinating, uh, modern side hustle.
hmm
Think about it. That drill you bought for one project sits there gathering
We
dust.
all have one of those.
Exactly. So our mission here is really to unpack the key insights from these sources, see how you could potentially build a business around renting those tools out. And the kicker, once it's set up, it's potentially almost entirely passive. No face-to-face customer interaction needed.
And it's really interesting why this is sort of taking off right now. It plugs directly into some big societal shifts we're seeing. The sources really highlight this move towards access over ownership.
Right. People don't necessarily want to own everything anymore.
Precisely. Why buy and store something you'll use maybe, well, once or twice a year? Plus, you've got the huge DIY boom. Everyone's doing home projects. And then there's the rise of side gigs, people looking for extra income streams.
And the sustainability, too, I imagine. Sharing resources.
Absolutely. That's a big one, too. It all kind of converges to make this idea, well, very timely.
So let's paint a picture for someone using this. How does
Yeah.
it actually work? Imagine you see like a high-tech vending machine on the street corner, but inside, power drills, saws, that kind of thing.
Instead of chips and soda.
Right. So you need, say, a sander for just a few hours.
Yeah.
You pull out your phone, open an app, find the tool, pay a small fee right there.
Super simple.
But you walk up, scan your phone on the locker unit,
Click.
and it pops open. You grab the tool, go do your project. When you're done, bring it back, scan again, drop it off. That's it.
Yeah, the sources really hammer home that ease of use, that hyper convenience. It's like an on-demand tool library, basically. No hassle.
No waiting for a rental shop to open, no awkward chats.
And it's not just theoretical. This is happening. The sources show it's, gaining real traction in places like Berlin, Seoul, high-density areas where maybe owning stuff is less practical.
Space is a premium there, yeah.
Definitely. But also, interestingly, in smaller U.S. cities, too, places with that strong DIY vibe,
Yeah.
where people maybe don't want to shell out hundreds for a specialized tool they need just once.
Okay, so the user side sounds incredibly smooth. That's the draw. But let's flip it. What about the person setting this up? What does it actually take to get started?
Right, the entrepreneur's perspective.
The sources break down the essentials. First up, you obviously need the smart locker system itself. It needs to be weatherproof, secure.
And that's a key decision point right there. The sources mention you can often buy or lease these systems.
Okay. Purchase versus lease. Big difference for upfront capital.
Huge difference. Changes the whole financial model. Then, stocking it.
With the right tools,
Yeah.
presumably. Things people actually rent.
Exactly. Popular stuff. Drills, circular saws, maybe paint sprayers. Some sources suggest even gardening tools depending on the location, the market.
And you need an app, right? Or some kind of platform.
Yep. Either your own user-friendly app or potentially integrating with an existing locker platform provider.
Yeah.
Save some development hassle there.
Makes sense. And security must be a big one. These are valuable tools.
Oh, absolutely crucial. The sources talk about needing security deposits, obviously, but also smart tracking things like GPS or RFID tags in the tools.
So you can see where they are.
You got it. Monitor location, usage, all from your dashboard. Plus, basic damage insurance is a must. You have to protect your assets.
It sounds like a lot of tech working together.
It is, but that's what enables the passive part later on. Once you've got that initial setup humming, the hardware, the software, the security protocols, the day-to-day, according to the sources, becomes much more hands-off.
So what are the ongoing tasks then? Just fixing broken tools.
Pretty much. Routine maintenance, keeping things clean and charged, maybe restocking consumables if you offer those, and just keeping an eye on the usage data through the app, seeing what's popular, what's not.
Okay, so the tech handles the rentals, the payments, the access.
Right. Which frees you up. That's the passive income appeal mentioned in the sources, though passive doesn't mean zero work, of course.
Naturally. You still need to maintain the inventory.
Exactly. And ensure a smooth turnaround. Quick cleaning, quick checks, that keeps customers happy and makes the tools last longer.
Okay, system's running, tools are out there.
Yeah.
How does the money actually flow in? How do you make this profitable and maybe even grow it?
Good question. The sources point to a few direct revenue streams. The most obvious is charging by time, by the hour, or maybe a flat day rate. Gives users flexibility.
Different rates for different tools, I assume?
Oh yeah, definitely tiered pricing based on the tool's value and demand.
And you mentioned memberships,
Yeah.
like for regulars.
Yeah, that's a smart idea highlighted in the sources. Offer like a weekend warrior pass or a monthly subscription, gives regulars a discount, builds loyalty, and provides more predictable income for you.
Okay, that makes sense. What about other ways to boost revenue or scaling up?
Well, one clever idea is using adjacent lockers for add-on sales.
Add-ons, like what?
Think safety goggles, work gloves, maybe sandpaper discs, small consumables people might forget.
Yeah.
Easy upsell right at the point of rental.
Ah, convenient. Nice.
But the really critical factor for scaling, emphasized again and again in the sources, is placement. Location, location, location.
Right, high traffic spots.
Yes, but it's more nuanced than just raw traffic. The sources suggest thinking about who your potential users are and where they are. Apartment complexes are classic examples. Co-working spaces, maybe near colleges with trade programs, even hardware store parking lots.
You need to be where the DIY projects are actually happening, or where people live who do those projects.
Exactly. It's about understanding that user flow. When do they need tools? Where do they congregate? That demographic insight is key. And then there's the partnership angle.
Partnering with who?
Landlords of those apartment buildings, maybe local councils, property managers. The sources mention operators cutting deals, maybe offering a small percentage of the revenue to secure those prime exclusive spots.
That sounds like it could get complicated, dealing with landlords or councils, regulations.
That's a really good point, and yeah, the sources do kind of flag that it's not always straightforward. While a landlord might like the idea of an extra amenity for tenants,
Sure.
navigating the actual agreements, zoning laws for putting a commercial locker there, insurance liabilities, that can be a bit of a maze.
So it requires some legwork, some negotiation, maybe even legal advice.
Potentially, yes. It's definitely a strategic challenge. You can't just drop a locker anywhere. It takes planning and sometimes some patient negotiation.
Got it. That's a crucial reality check. Okay, so location and partnerships are key for growth. Now, the sources mention a kind of twist, that this model isn't just limited to tools.
Exactly. And that's where it gets even more interesting thinking longer term. The versatility. You can scale sideways, as the sources put it, take the same smart locker tech and apply it to totally different niches.
Okay, like what kind of niches?
Well, think about things people need occasionally but don't want to buy. High-end camera lenses for photographers.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, those are expensive.
Right. Or specialized kitchen gadgets, maybe a stand mixer, a fancy ice cream maker, things for a big dinner party.
Things you use once a year.
Exactly. Even party supplies. Sound systems, fog machines, popcorn makers for community events or birthdays. If there's a temporary need in a community, this locker model could potentially serve it. It's highly adaptable.
Wow, okay, so the potential application is actually much broader than just drills and saws.
Much broader. It taps into that same access over ownership trend across many categories.
So wrapping this up then, what this deep dive really shows is smart locker rentals are a genuinely modern way to approach a side hustle. It's this blend of tech, automation, and just basic practical utility, renting things people need. And it's that combination, that blend, that seems to be creating these new income opportunities.
Absolutely. And maybe a final thought to leave folks with, something to chew on. Building on that whole access over ownership idea and how flexible this locker model is, just think, if renting a tool or a camera or a kitchen gadget becomes this seamless, this automated, how far could that go? Could these kinds of systems fundamentally change how we think about owning things altogether? Could we see a future where we own much less and access almost anything we need just for the short time we need it via systems like these? It really makes you wonder about the future of consumption.